Rasulullah. Today's presentation is about the EdAI Seattle Summit that is happening from August 29 to 30th, inshallah, at the University of Washington. We want tonight's session to just give you more update and information about what this session is about and to hopefully get you more excited about the summit, inshallah. So we just go through. Most times when people see the name EdAI, they sometimes think like this is more like an AI class or like AI program. We do use a lot of AI, but our program is not like specifically an AI program. You can think of it at the intersection of like entrepreneurship and like AI. And so we try as much as we can to use AI to sort of further the goals of like entrepreneurship and in our mind, which is really about creating value in the world. So that is what our program is really all about. So it's about how do you find a problem? How do you find users? How do you build? How do you get that product into the hands of users? And sort of being able to use AI through all of that part, basically. And so if you need AI to help you with finding real problems, talking to users and all of that. And along the way, if you have like any questions about like AI, we can like go ahead and answer that. Maybe I didn't do like an introduction about myself, but my name is Abdulaziz, and alhamdulillah, I did like a PhD in AI. So sort of like if you need more help about like how to like on AI and fundamentals of AI, we can talk a lot about that. But our program really deeply just goes into more of how do you turn all of those things into something that people can use. So if you sort of want to get one thing about what our program is, it's really just a place where you can go from finding a real problem until building a real product that people use. And so in between, we sort of try as much as we can to sort of use AI across all of those parts, basically. So those are like what our program really is about. So then I'll move on from there. When we're thinking about what is the 2 days of the summit really about, the 2 days is really about two things. It's about finding a problem that somebody says like is a problem. Like you can find a problem, but is really not a problem, and then people don't care about it. And so even whatever you do on that problem might not like be very useful for people. So what we want you to think about is part of what we do at this program is to help people find a problem. How do they sort of validate if what they're doing is a good enough problem? The way we're trying to do that is we're trying to bring in like mentors to the program. And so those mentors can like talk to you and sort of like help you validate if what you're doing is like a valid idea. So that's sort of like where the validate part comes in. And then alhamdulillah, we're having like 15 plus or like 16 plus mentors that will be coming in to help our teams walk through some of this. And so then you come in, you discover a problem, you validate that that problem exists, and then the next part of what we do is we work together to try to build that and turn that into like a working solution. And as I'm going on, if you have a question, feel free to either type it or just unmute. Either of them is fine, and we can be able to go back and forth. This is supposed to be a conversation. Okay, is the background noise off now? Is it better? Okay, somebody's not getting any audio. Let me try again. Is it better now? Can you hear me? Okay, Sidra can. Hamza, is this much better now? Let me see. Hamza. Yeah, Hamza. This tool is called Brains Mingle. Some Muslim brother is building it. So yeah, sometimes the first time takes a while to get used to, but we will. Hopefully, there's a recording that we can go back to. But let's see again. Something else I can do to make sure you can hear me. Let me even test. Who else can hear me? If you can hear me, just type like a yes in the chat if you can hear me. That way we know who can hear us. Okay, good. Sidra can hear us. Yes, Hamza, try again. Yes. Majid can hear us.
Yes, I
Right,
can hear you.
Majid can hear us. All right, good. Thank you so much. So then we will continue. Hopefully, Brother Hamza is able to get back in as we continue. So, like I said, the event is really about four things. It's about looking for a problem. Why we think like this phase one and phase two is very important is based off of what we did in DC. So some of the feedback we got was like the ideas the teams worked on were not very deep enough or like very validated enough, kind of. And so we wanted to make sure that is resolved in the case of what we're doing here in Seattle, that we have mentors who are able to talk to you about the problem and you're sure that this is a big enough problem for you to go solve. So we have the steps one up to four, and that is the main aspect of what our program really is about. And so then from there, we move into like what exactly does that look like, right? So we want to hopefully bring in people from different fields, people from healthcare, people from just different spaces, and they can talk about some of the problems that they face. It's not like they say, "Oh, go solve this problem," and a person goes to solve it, but hopefully they'll give like a sense of what's happening in my field, what's a problem happening. Say somebody works in data centers, for example, they can talk about what's happening in data centers. If somebody's a dentist, they can talk about what's happening in dentistry. Sort of now your mind is more open and exposed to more fields than just what you are aware of every day. I see Brother Hamza joined back. Are you able to hear me now, Brother Hamza? Oh, Brother Hamza, can you hear me? Okay, I will assume and hope you can hear me, but then I'll just continue. But then again, like what we said, it's an important problem that we hope you find by just talking to the mentors. Let me type in the chat and see if there's any way Brother Hamza can even see the chat. Brother Hamza, can you hear me? All right, so that's the first part. That's what we want the first day to really be about. It's about people talking and like really learning about what. Oh, Brother Hamza still cannot hear me. I am so sorry about that. What else can I do? Maybe you can drop your phone number, Brother Hamza. Then maybe I can call you from my phone and just put it on like beside me, and maybe you can listen, and then hopefully you can just be seeing the screen basically from that. That could be another way. Okay, we'll continue with that. So this part of finding a problem by speaking to people in the real world is, I think, one of just like the biggest part of what we want this event to be. So when people say, "Is this like a hackathon?" We say it's not really like a hackathon. In a hackathon, you might already have an idea and you come in and solve. Here, we will work together to try to find what is an important problem for you to solve. So that's how we hope the session is going to start and the summit is going to basically continue like. And then basically then you sort of want to have sort of a mentor saying, okay, this is a good enough problem, and your team being able to say sort of like, we can build this sort of. And so you want to answer yes to sort of most of these two questions. Maybe sometimes it's not all of it completely, but at least you have a sense of, is this a real enough problem? Can my team work on it and build it? Those are like some of the things we want to build. And again, what we say, like, is this a real problem? Does somebody have it? Can somebody pay for it? And when we say we want it to become something that somebody builds, after the summit, can that become like a startup, basically? That's like the big idea we're going for. If you want Muslim teams to become builders and founders, then what they build has to become something that can almost become like a company. So again, Alhamdulillah, we think like what we really have. Parents can look at this and be like, well, I can build this on my own and all of that, right? But um, finding a group of people like this and bringing them into the room is not very easy. So a lot of people from these companies are going to be there. People from Microsoft, people from Zoya. We will be really having like really amazing people that will be in the room to talk to you. And so that's sort of like one of the biggest reasons why we think you should let your team be at this program. So does this work? Have we done this before? We did this already in July of this year. Sorry for like the typo in the word. We did this in July of 2026 in Washington, D.C., Georgetown University. We had about 92 students show up, about 15 teams formed. We had about 15 mentors also. And the teams really enjoyed being able to have like mentors in the room, working with them, and most importantly, taking them like adults. Like that is something teams like really enjoyed from like what we did in DC. So again, most people might say, okay, well, but what if I come to this summit and my child doesn't like programming or they don't like to code? I say this program, like, don't think of it like a programming or coding program. Like, you will code, yes, but our goal is not to run this as a coding program. We want to run this as a place where you can turn idea into something that becomes something in the world. So coding can be a part of doing that, but being curious and being able to like work on a team, ask very good questions, make sure the problem is clear, how to turn that into a working product are usually what is more important, more than just can my son write code, can my daughter write code, and all of that. So again, even if like they try doing it the first time and it doesn't work, the pipeline that we have from here, we think even if you came to the summit, even if you didn't build at the summit, but you sort of followed this pipeline that we have, like even when you build and it doesn't work, then you can test again, you can learn from that and you can improve. Like the first product that you have might like not be like the best or perfect product. So this part of even when you build, how can you continue is sort of like what we also have. And also at EdAI, usually even when we finish this summit, we also have another program for like a month afterwards if you really want to move your idea forward into more than just what you do at the summit. So again, parents might be wondering, why do I pay $300 for this? Or for parents that pay for the late fee, paying 500, they're like, why do I have to pay this much? Like really, we think like what your teens are gonna get from this is just the ability to be able to take initiative. Like we're getting into a point where like AI is moving so fast and like school is good, but like sometimes school will not even catch up quickly enough with what your child can do. So if they come into this program and they're able to like take initiative and be able to at least go out there and do something, that is what we're looking for. They can be able to like exercise judgment, right? Like, okay, this is a good problem, this is a bad problem. Even you as a parent, when you come talk to them about, oh, I'm trying to solve this problem, hopefully whatever they've learned at the summit can be useful for them about like, is this a good enough problem, will somebody pay for it, and all of that. And alhamdulillah, we've done like ADI programs at least where one student has built something that somebody paid for, and so we have some experience on like what it means to like be able to get a student to build something somebody will pay for. Because you might be wondering, can my child build something somebody will pay for? And the answer we say is, if they find a good enough problem, they will be able to get somebody to pay for it. And then they have the courage to say, I spent the weekend building something, and that thing can become really something big for me. And really, another part of this is like we believe all of what they learn here would just really translate into what they do in school. Like if they're able to come to this program, take initiative, do all of that, we believe when they get to school, they will also be able to like really do the same thing. So again, the program is for 2 days. We'll probably need to start by like 8 a.m. You're like, how do I get there by 8 a.m.? Try as much as you can. We've seen like from DC, people are able to show up early for this event, honestly. So then 29, 30th is Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully the day before school starts. Maybe on second day we can finish early for some people that want to get ready for school and all of that. But this is going to be at like University of Washington. So even this gives your teens like an opportunity to visit the campus if they decide like, or when they're ready for college, they already have some of this exposure, right? And this program is designed for things in high school, but if your child is in like middle school or even some kid in like some elementary and they're like, I want to go for this program, I really have to be there. Like we think like that is like useful. Like their interest is more important than just like maybe their age. And we're just putting the price pool really just so that like people can be more excited to come be a part of it. I'm almost at the end, so just bear with me a few more moments. What do they need to bring? Like, they just need to come with their laptop. Maybe if they have some snacks and a few other things. We want them to also come with like a ChatGPT or Cloud subscription. Like, you can do like a 1 hour Cloud, 1 month $20 Cloud or ChatGPT, and that should like be pretty fine for like what we're going to be doing at the summit. And so that is sort of like all of what we want them to bring. If they have snacks, anything else, they can bring it, but meals will be there. We have the workspace and we have all of the other people they'll be working with. And hopefully by the time they're done on Sunday and they're working out of that and they're going home, what we hope they're getting is now they have this like strong friendship of people they can connect with. They have mentors they can talk to. They have a product they can really talk to people about. And honestly, for us, they've been able to create a path to say, whatever I want to do now, a part of creating my own company or trying to start a startup is now possible. So sort of like they're able to go full loop out of the program. And so I'll stop here. Basically, this is how much you charge for the program. This is a registration link for anybody that's not like registered. I'll just stop here and say feel free to unmute, ask questions. If you feel like what I've explained is good enough, you can go ahead and like sign up and like register now. But if you have any questions, please go on mute and just sort of like ask me any questions that you have. Yes, please, Majid.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum. Thanks for the
Walaikum
intro.
salam.
The question is the timing. Like it says Saturday and Sunday, and
Yeah.
you just mentioned 8 a.m. Like 8 until what time? That's the
Uh,
first question.
yeah. So
Yeah,
normally 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. is what we want to do for the first day. Maybe the second day we might reduce it, but normally that is what we probably be booking the space for.
okay, thank you. And the second question is, I saw when I did the registration, I did it myself, not my son.
Yes.
Uh, um, you mentioned like in the description that no need for even like an idea, but it's
Yes.
still in the questions
Hmm.
you were asking about like ideas or what you're interested to build. I just left them kind of TBD, honestly, so
Hmm.
that yeah, we discuss with him maybe in a few days before the day, or maybe just leave it until that day. Is it like is the expectation to come up with at least like an idea or two, or just
So normally what we're doing now on like LinkedIn, on Instagram is we're asking some of our mentors to post some ideas that they have. You can think about those, but it's fine if you came into the summit without like an idea. That's still like perfectly fine.
okay? Sounds
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
So thank you.
That's
It's fine. Well, Yakum, it's fine if you don't have an idea and come in. What we really ask parents to do is like really just get them excited about it. We'll post some videos. I think we have about 2 videos now about some ideas that we think they can think about. They can think of some on their own. If they still don't come up with anything, it's still fine to come to the summit, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Majid.
yeah.
Sister Sidra, please go ahead with your question.
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
So, if I have an idea or project that I've already been working on,
Yes.
to develop it further and take it to the next level, would
Yes.
that be eligible to present?
Oh, that's perfectly fine. But although like we will still have to go through like that idea of like, is that really, are you solving an idea that's like really worth solving for? Like, will somebody pay for it? Just because you built it doesn't mean we'll just be like, oh, congrats, let's continue. We will still push you through like the initial steps of like what you're trying to build it for. Did somebody say they're going to pay you for it? What is the problem they have? We'll still go through all of those steps. If your idea still comes out strong and all of that, then we can continue, of course, yes.
And then my second question would be that I've noticed in some sessions that a few participants may not take the program seriously,
Yeah.
which can sometimes be discouraging for those who are genuinely interested and committed. So, how do you ensure that participants remain respectful, engaged, and serious about the program?
That's a very important question, and I'll be like just like dusting the roof and saying like this might not happen. The best way we found to be able to do it is like have enough mentors in the program walking the floors and like being there, and then they are able to like also even see some of this happening and be able to like be involved in those teams, talk to people, and all of that. So the way we've been able to do it, I think, even in DC, was that we have enough mentors in the room, and then those mentors are able to like walk around, talk to you. If they see like maybe there's some issues with where you are, they can be able to then suggest to move somewhere else or all of that. But that is sort of the way we have now. And then hopefully we'll be able to share maybe more resources on how to think through and stuff. But your question is a very important one. But these 2 steps of what I've said are some of the things we're doing. Beyond that, also, I will try to also be there talking to people. So hopefully, even as this happens, we can talk more even at the summit and be able to figure something better out. I hope this is a good enough answer. Is that a good answer?
Yes, I do have two more
Let's
questions.
go for it. Let's go.
So, for the participants who are 18 years older and under, could you share how many are girls and how many are boys?
So right now, this program, that's why actually, like if you look at our mentors, I've been following up with so many of our mentors. So far, we don't have any girl registration yet for the program. Everybody that's applied now is male.
Oh,
So what we are pushing for is I'm really pushing to find like more female mentors to be there at the summit. In DC, we finally got like for every two male, there was one female. So I think that we will get there also for the for the Seattle one. But right now, most people that have applied are male. We don't have any female application. Maybe that would encourage you, Sidra, to apply early. But I promise you, we're doing all of our best to like get more women to participate. One way we are doing that is to get like more women mentors to be a part of it. That has not been very easy. So if you know any even female mentor that you think should be a mentor, then let me know. I think we have about 3 or 4 women mentors right now. So that's what we're doing. But based off of what we did in DC, we think the number would move to like 2 to 1 as we get closer to the closing of the application.
so my last question is, could you explain why the program cost is relatively high for high school students, and are there scholarships, financial assistance, or reduced cost options available for younger participants?
So, like, what we try to do with the program is really prices one to make sure like the program we give is like the best program we can do. We don't want it to be like if there is like a way to do something, we say, oh, because of price, we won't do it. We want to make sure whatever you get at this summit is the best you can get. If you look at what we did in DC, we still had to subsidize like the program with like $30,000, I think. So even though we charge people in DC for like $200, we make sure like the quality, if you were to find that thing somewhere else, it wouldn't be that price. Secondly, also is that we want to make sure like everything we think you need at the summit will be there. That's why we charge that price. Thirdly, we still have like some option for like scholarships like that's available. So if you say like I really want to be there, I can't really afford it, what do you do? Normally what we do is we talk to some people like, hey, we got enough people that want to sign up and they're really interested, but can you cover some of it for them? So that's sort of like the way we do, but we really just make sure that we give the best program we can and make sure that price is not like a problem for it. So even if you know somebody who should be there and is not able to pay all of it, let me know. You have my email. We can talk more. We can be able to find something for people. But yes, does that give a good answer to your question, Sidra?
Yes, that does answer my questions, Jazakallah.
Oh yeah, cool. Yes. All right. Brother Wafa was asking, what time should you be there and what time does it end? I talked about that earlier, so I'll just go back there. This is the summit at a glance. It's Saturday, Sunday, August 29th, 30th. We want to start 8 a.m. and finish 7 p.m. for both days. Although the second day we might move it maybe earlier and finish before 7 p.m. So maybe Monday, some people might be starting school. But sort of look around, put in the time from like say 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. for both days. That's what we're doing. And we might move things lower, but this is at least a timeline that we have for the event. I hope that answers the question, Brother Wafa or Sister Wafa. If you have a question, feel free to unmute or type it in the chat and really just go on with your question. While you're waiting for the next person to ask their question, I can sort of give you like an idea of, say, I'm your son or your daughter and I come into the summit, right? Sidra, for example, let's actually play like a example with Sidra. Okay, Sidra, before I come back to you, let's look at Sister Loy as a question. Brother Loy.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
thank you,
Yes.
brother. I do have a couple of questions actually,
Go for it.
and they kind of somewhat tie to each other.
Okay.
The first one is what the estimated number of participants, and that might not be there,
Mhm.
but the tie-up question to it is what's roughly the quote-unquote mentor to kids ratio roughly that you expect? Because like if there's like, I'm going to give an example off the bat. You said there's 14 mentors, but they're not going to be 14 mentors if there's 10 kids, you know,
Mhm,
just
mhm.
doesn't make sense. So I'm
Yes.
trying to see how you guys structure that. That's kind of my first question.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. I'll answer that and then we can move on to the second one. Based on what we did in DC, it was more like 10 to 1, what we did in DC. And so that's what we
Very
try.
good. Yeah.
That's what we're trying to bring here. And so we actually still we have slots more for our mentors, and so we're looking for the venue we are getting has a space for 269 people. So we are hoping to get at least 200 people as builders into that room. So 200 teams building, hopefully about 20 mentors being in the room is what we are looking forward to for the program. So 10 to 1, hopefully, is the
That's
ratio.
pretty good, yeah.
So inshallah, all the mentors will not be there all the time, kind of, but we, alhamdulillah, I live in Seattle and we have maybe a few ways around it, but that is what we will be aiming for, inshallah.
Sounds good. Which takes me to my second question regarding. Oops, sorry. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. That went out, but yes.
Okay, beautiful. So the other question was, okay, you kind of vet the ideas and work with the students and so forth about problems and how they can solve it. My high level question, is it like a free form summit, or is there like, okay, here's what we're going to teach you at the beginning. That's what an idea looks like. That's what we're looking for. What's a solvable idea? And then the second part, okay, when we start building, this is the tool set that you should use. This is quote unquote how you said cloud code or whatever it is.
Yes.
I'm trying to see, is there guidance or is it more of an open summit and kids are doing their thing and you're helping? Or is there more guidance? So that's kind of the other part of the question. Thank you.
I love this question. I think I need to meet you after this, but this is so beautiful. So I'll give like a background story and then use that to explain. So EdAI, outside of this, we run a program called the Builder Program. Normally we run it at MAPS or we run it online. It's a curriculum with about 8 to 12 sections. And so basically, even when we come to this summit, we will try to run the things through this 8 to 12 curriculum session. There's a part about what's a problem. After we've done all of this part about the problem, how do you start, like, we do some part of like talking about it, making sure the user wants it. And then from there, we're going to, if you want to design it, how do you do the landing page? How do you go from one step to the next? When the product is ready, how do you distribute it? How do you think about financing? How do you think about pitching? Basically, you have an 8-level curriculum that we normally run through when we run these programs. And so it's not just like you come in, you sit down, and then you start talking on the problem. But hopefully, inshallah, for the 2 days, we will walk them through sort of like this 8 components. Although we just want to emphasize greatly that a big part of it is really making sure like we tackle what's a good enough problem, have the mentors think about it, and all of that.
Good, beautiful. And I remember at the beginning of it, you said it's more focused about vetting a problem and the solution more than the coding. But I'm hoping also you kind of, there's some form of, okay, even if it's no code, low code, or all that, there's some students that are clueless, I'm assuming, about coding. So hopefully there.
I lost you, but I lost the remaining part there. I'm trying to guess. Yes. Even though we say it's like a no code, low code, there will still be a part of the curriculum where we're talking about how do you build from sort of how do you deliver this to a user, and then how do you prompt the system, what tools do you use. In the past, we've mostly used like Replit to do a lot of things, and that has cost us some money. And so this time, that's why I mentioned on the slide, if you can get like a ChatGPT subscription or Claude, they're bringing in a lot of those features already in. So if you look at ChatGPT now, it has what is called sites, and that can almost get your page going, and they can have a backend and all of that, and Cloud Code also to run all of this. So inshallah, we will also be talking about some of those technical angle of it, of like how do you do the prompt, how do you talk to the system, how do you build your landing page, how do you do like the user design and user experience. But all of that, you just want to start the backdrop of comes after you have thought of and found like a good idea or something to do.
Understood. Okay, perfect. That's it. Thank you for answering questions.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I hope Sidra, part of this sort of like answer some of your question. We try to do like part of the first day really more of trying to run through like this curriculum and what I've talked about. And then the second day, more like people are getting stuff done. But we'll be mixing in and out during this session. But hopefully by the second day, what you're getting is we're going to have a session where you pitch. What you're going to be pitching is a working product based off of that idea that you've talked to somebody and try to like find a solution to. So that's more like how the structure of the program would be within the 2 days, centered out within this 8 to 12 session curriculum that we have. The curriculum starts with like problem discovery, or like, is this a good enough problem? We go from there into like landing pages, and then from landing pages we do like user design. We have decide time of where you're just building. We have the time where you're thinking about distribution. We have time where you're thinking about financing. There's a part of thinking about pitching, and then you're like pitching and getting the whole thing done. That's sort of like the structure of what our curriculum is. Outside of this, when we run the program, normally it's like an 8 to 12 weeks program that we do online or at MAPS. So you can think of our summit as just an accelerated version of whatever it is that we do. Please go ahead, go off mute if you have any question, and please ask as we go on with this. Let's see more questions. Let me see if there's anything I have here that we can answer. So somebody might say, my teen is in middle school, but they're excited about this. And so the youngest kid that we have in our program, the youngest build that we have at the EdAI program is 9. And he has been like very excited about the program and always like coming and being a part of it. And so the age doesn't really like drop anybody out. But then if they're excited, we say sign them up. Ask your teen, do you want to go to this place? Do you want to be a part? I mean, some kids, maybe you don't have to ask them, but even if they're younger and you think that they want to come, then go ahead. And even if somebody's in college, like first year, second year college, we'll say sign them up. Because the biggest thing that we think this summit gives is just that concentration of like mentors. Even if you were to run a college level program or something bigger, we think this will be the same caliber of mentors and people you will have. So therefore, like whatever the age of your child, just being exposed to these mentors, talking to them is already like a big achievement in being part of the program, basically. And what your teen lives with, it's inshallah on Sunday a working product. They can go demo to somebody. And what I mean by like demo to somebody is I can show you quickly when we say something somebody can pay for. This is a tool that one of our students built during our regular program, right? Not at the summit. And this tool, a teacher, Sister Fareen at Medina Academy, got excited about it, alhamdulillah, worked with Abdul Malik on this. Alhamdulillah, by the end of the semester, this was a tool built by a kid in middle school, right? And some students in Medina got to use it. Alhamdulillah, this teacher in Medina's Miss Fareen paid Abdul Malik for the tool. So this is what we mean by like something somebody will pay for. And she just paying because like, oh, she likes me. Yeah, maybe like a young kid is trying to build something, so she's paying out of that. But there is value that is coming out of that is what we are looking for. So what does my teen get out of it on Sunday? Is a product like this that he can get to somebody. The person can use it. There is value for them. And that's why they will be paying for it. So yeah. And that is what we mean by that. That is sort of like the response to that. What do they need to bring? A laptop will be very good. That's what they will need to do a lot of the work, and providing hopefully the remaining things there. We want people to also come like a ChatGPT subscription. We used to do Replit and do all of that before. That's beginning to be some headache for us. So now we'll just be passing that along and let the students subscribe on their own before they show up to the summit. So this is basically like a lot of what we'll be doing. And so if you're thinking about like what does like this conversation or session look like, I can, for example, ask Sidra. So Sidra seems like she has an idea or something already. I'm like, hey, Sidra, can you tell me like what idea you're trying to like work on? Like what is this project you already have in like 1 minute? This will be like the way, some sense of how this session would even run if somebody has an idea. You want to try, Sidra?
About what project I have in mind?
Yes, you have in mind or you're already working on it. Just do like a role, not role play, but like this will be a glimpse of how the summit will look like. So what do you have?
So I basically made an app. It's supposed to be for pill identification and skin analysis.
Okay.
So it uses AI. You basically take a picture of it from your phone. You can upload it from your computer. It has 2 sections, and it's a website. So depending on which one you want to use, and based on that, it will give you a result. What's the possible pill that you've taken a picture of, or what skin condition you may have. Then it will have a level of like danger level, and it will give you some tips on like how to treat your wound if it's skin related,
Mhm.
or if it's medicine related, if you accidentally swallowed it, the steps that you have to take. So these are basically the features of my app. So
Okay.
I was thinking that
So let's take a step back, right? How many users did you talk to before you built this?
I talk to basically people who do have some issues, such as old people or
Yeah.
my family members that do come across issues where they don't know what medicine that they have to take or
Okay.
what they might have accidentally taken and the steps that they have to take.
So
So I talked to a couple of people about it.
so let's say check on the number of people you've spoken to. How many people told you they are willing to pay for this?
About like 10 people.
Okay. How much did they say they were gonna pay for it?
I thought probably like
No, not you. How much did they say they're gonna pay you?
probably $10.
Okay, so $10 for every time they use it, or for 1 month, or for a year. What is the price?
For like a lifetime.
$10 for a lifetime? Are you serious? How are you gonna stay profitable?
It was a small project I started with, so
See, you're beginning to see the cracks now coming out.
yes.
So then, like, you can't charge, you can't like sustain like a business for like $10 for life. That's like they can do like unlimited pictures. They can check their problems. Like, how are you gonna be? Then they come to the other part of our program. How are you gonna be funding your business? Say 10,000 people use it, right? How much is that? That's $100,000. How do you get even your own salary from that? How do you pay OpenAI for all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get 10,000 people to use it?
Probably marketing it a bit better.
Good. And then how much from this $100,000? How much are you going to remove from marketing, right? You can see where I'm going to.
Yeah.
Good. So then, like, ideas can be very easy to build. You can talk to a few family and friends, but until somebody looks at you and they say they're willing to pay a price that is commensurate with how you would dispensing that service, then what you have might not really be like a very big problem. You know, if it's a problem, people are going to pay $10 for the rest of their life. Is that really a big problem?
No, not really.
You see where we're going with this?
Yes.
This is what you get when you come to the summit. Hopefully, maybe you come to the summit, you meet a dentist, right? For example, and the dentist can say, here is a procedure we do at the dentistry. People do it once every month and it costs this much. What do you think about doing it? Then your idea all of a sudden goes to solve a different problem. It can still be the same thing. And now you're creating more value off of that because you've just been exposed to a new problem. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So this is what we want you to get at the summit. This is what we will be doing, inshallah, the summit with the mentors, walking you through. Then, like, all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, I can't be doing like a $10 for a lifetime idea. I need something bigger, right?
Yes. So I actually looked at it from like a developer's perspective, not
Yes.
really from like a marketing perspective. Probably
Exactly.
I can answer most of the questions.
Exactly. Not from a user perspective. You're just like, well, what do I want to do? Will this be cool on my resume? Will this get me into college? Will this do this? Maybe those are like all the criteria. Like, oh, vibe coding is becoming easy. What do I build? When somebody pushes back on you with this type of example, this is what we will be doing, etc. Like, then when you talk to somebody, you're like, well, what if we did it this way? I know a dentist. Let's go talk to him. Then now you're finishing the summit much richer. Even if you didn't build anything, you've learned about 5-10 new problems that you can go tackle. Make sense?
Yes.
And you see, like, now we don't even need to like open a laptop and write any code now because we don't have a problem to go solve. And the next exercise you can do, you can think about is, for example, I can show you. I can say now, draw me. You can go on ChatGPT and I can just tell you, draw me how the skin doctors, they're called dermatologists, right?
Yes.
You can say how dermatologists make money and where they have most issues or inefficiencies in their business. Oh, sorry, I was doing this on a different screen. Let me move this here and just show you, right? This is when we get to the summit. This could be one way of what you're thinking about in their processes and what basically you can stop with this. And you can just get an AI system to just try to draw for you and help you research where the problem is. Are you following me now?
Yes.
And now, just by understanding what a dermatologist does, where money moves in and out for the dermatologist, now you're going to be thinking differently. This is not just I take a picture, I scan it, and somebody pays me. And like even when I push you on, like, why will somebody pay you? Why don't they just put it on ChatGPT and get paid there and like do it there? They're already doing $20 a month. Why do they want your system? You following me now?
Yes.
So now, basically, one of the things you want to start thinking about is what is this flow for a dermatologist? This thing I'm showing you on the screen now, what does it look like for a dermatologist? What do they do? Do you have something like this on where the problem is?
Yeah. Not.
So you already got like 10% of what you're gonna get at the summit already, Sidra. So then, I said for the remaining 90%, show up and then we continue the conversation. But this is what we want to be doing. This is how you build. This is how you push back on an idea. This is how you raise the value. And so by the time you're done with day one, you're like, oh my God, this is what else I want to solve. And hopefully there's a dentist in the room and he's talking to your dermatologist. And now they're bringing that experience into what you're trying to do. And it's not just this is what I want to solve. Does this make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Good. So this is what we'll be doing at the summit, and I can't wait for you to sign up and come be a part of it, inshallah. Any more questions? We wanted to do like a build into this session, but really just like going through like an idea to a problem like this is also one of the outcomes we want to have at the summit. And I hope this gives like parents here some ideas of like what the summit is really going to be about. It's all about coming, thinking about a problem, going from idea to product. We have a lot of tools to use on how to go from like idea to product, and I'll be able to work on all of those, inshallah. So anybody else has any more questions for me, inshallah? Sidra, is this good enough? Are you
Yes,
clear?
I think that's all the questions I had.
All right, good.
Darling brother, this is Hamza.
All right. Oh, alhamdulillah. Welcome back, brother Hamza. Finally.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was going in and out. I had to change a few devices, and
no problem. Welcome back.
I missed most of your session. I did
Yes.
catch the last part of it, but
Okay.
maybe a few quick questions.
Yes.
I have a daughter and a son whom I would want to put into this,
Now,
but none of them have any background with software development or any kind of coding.
yes.
So would they still be good to come, or do they need to know things before coming in?
I think this slide is your answer. You see, it's a common worry a lot of parents have, which is that my child doesn't know how to code. They don't know Python. They don't know Java. I'm just going to ask you 4 questions or 3 questions. If your kids are excited or interested in asking questions, and they want to build something that people would want that is clear, and they want to turn whatever is an idea in their mind into something working, and they have a good reason why they want to solve that problem. If your answer to 3 or 4 of this is yes, then sign your teams up for the program, basically.
But what if they don't have any idea right now in their mind?
Oh, then that's fine. If they want to come and talk to somebody and find it, it's 2 things. If they want to come and talk to people about finding it, then sign them up, even if they don't have an idea in mind. Yes. So when we did the DC event, what we found that people said was the idea that even the teenagers have sometimes is not like so deep as much. So we want to bring mentors in to talk to them about the problems they face. And hopefully from that they get excited about 1 or 2, or even from there they get an idea that they want to go there and solve. So that's more of like what we want to bring together. It's not like they have an idea or they can code. It's that they're excited about being in a space where they can solve a problem. That is very important. Like we don't want to say like sign up every child. If you have your child and they say, I don't want to go, I'm not excited about solving a problem, I don't even care about looking for any problem, then maybe you don't want to sign them up, yes. But if they have an excitement about, yeah, we would love to be in a room with other Muslim teens, looking at what the problem is, trying to solve it, even though we don't have an idea, then we say, yes, this program is for them.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think you answered a couple of my other questions that I had.
Alhamdulillah.
Were about what to bring, the subscription that you mentioned, and so what Sidra's use case was how you're planning to ideate the teams and all that. Okay. Maybe the other question was like, if I'm just sending the two kids, do they need to already have a team with them, or will they just
No.
come and get assigned to teams?
Yes, when when teams show up, we will find a team for them. Then mostly by the time you talk to people, somebody will say, "I have this idea," and I'm like, "Okay, tell me about it." And I'm like, "Okay, I have this," and I'm like, "Okay, let's form a team. Let's work together." Team formation normally we do it at the summit. If you have a team and you want to come with that, this year we're like open for it, but you don't need a team. You don't need an idea. So maybe three things you don't need to have to come.
Mm.
You don't need an idea. You don't need a team. You don't need how to code. Two things or three things you need to bring when you're coming. Come with a laptop. Come with maybe Claude or ChatGPT subscription, and come with an excitement to want to solve a problem, even if you don't know what that problem is. At least those three, we will say they are important. Otherwise, then it's not like so beneficial for everybody.
Makes sense. And did something like this happen last year, or any like
Oh yeah.
earlier in Seattle,
So
or was it in DC that you were
it was
mentioning?
in DC, yes. So sorry about the date. It was 2026, July 3rd. So this past July 3rd and July 5th, if you remember where you were.
Mhm.
Well, for me, I was in DC. It was an event. Let me see if I can still open a page and be able to
Or
walk
like,
you through.
would you be able to tell what kind of problems the kids solved, or any products that came
So
out?
one of the products that came out of it in DC is a program for the agent community. So one of the things the team found, I guess not. Okay, this is actually, you know what? Let me actually go from here. This is one of the teams. This is Quranify. So you
Mhm.
might think, what did the team Quranify do? So what they asked was, normally when you have a Quran teacher, there is always a mismatch between like personalities between Quran teachers. So they wanted to build a platform where they match students to Quran teachers based on like their personalities.
Mhm.
And so that idea goes beyond just also like Quran. It's almost like anything you're trying to learn. Even if your child was finding a tutor for math online or something, can you make sure like the person they find, at least that's what we were talking about, extending the idea to, by starting from Quran. So you can think of this idea goes beyond just matching a Quran teacher to a student. It's really matching any type of teacher to any type of student based on like their personality. So this is one of the ideas that came. If you look to the back here, the other guy, not this guy standing here, but the guy standing behind him there, the idea they worked on, and that's their team, their table on that side, is about Alzheimer's. And so what they're saying is that people that have Alzheimer's, there's a way to delay Alzheimer's. That's their theory. The way to delay Alzheimer's is if you continue to work your brain. One of the best ways to work your brain is if you like learning language or teaching a language, and that language is not English. It's like your local, like your own language, sort of. And so they're building a platform where people that have a potential for Alzheimer's are reducing it by connecting them with like young people who want to learn their own native language and don't know it. So you're teaching a young person a language, and then you're getting like exchange of like delaying or like reducing Alzheimer's. That's
Got
the
it.
second
Yep.
team. So these are some of the teams. This was out of like about 24 teams that were there. And normally we try to run something also even after the summit. We call it the EdAI First Dollar Program. So this team, some of them are still part of that. It's after the summit, it's like for 1 month, where we try to see how do we get your idea to somebody paying even after the program. So we're really very like involved in trying to make sure it becomes something somebody will pay for as they go on. And hopefully then we can connect them to more VCs or mentors once like they're like ready for like moving forward.
Yeah, good information, brother.
All right.
I think I get an idea of what it is about.
Alhamdulillah.
My kids are in middle school,
Okay.
and so I'll have to sit with them and see what this.
Yes. Yeah, please chat with them and see if it's something they're excited about. You can look at our Instagram page, edai.inc, and you can see some of the videos. And we really believe they're going to benefit from it. I think like the biggest thing, our biggest hypothesis is like the age of people building companies is going to reduce. That's like our assumption. And so then we're like working on that. And we think one of the most important thing that will really help is like your religion. Like what's your foundation? We think like if Islam is your foundation, we think you can really be able to do it early and be able to do a lot of this. So that's some of our assumptions. And again, doing something young is not like new to Islam. You see the Sahabas and a lot of people in Islam are like young. So We're just trying to bring back something like that and see how Muslim teens can really go do something. If you think about what's happening now in the world, just give it about 10 years, right, from now. The people that will be doing stuff now are these kids that we all have now. So what about if we could get them to start thinking about it now, be in that space now, and begin to do something now? That's all of our assumption. That's what we're testing, and that's all of what we're trying to do.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful question. Let me see if anybody else has questions. I'm sure I see Aziz take my question. Let me see where I am on the chat. If anybody else has any questions, please go on mute and just ask, because then maybe we're like going out of time. I don't want to take too much time from people. If we have anybody with a question, please go on mute, ask it. Otherwise, I'll just give like next 2 minutes and we can close so we don't keep you too long, inshallah. So go off mute, ask your questions. If you don't have, please share with your family and friends. Early application closes in about 3 days. We would love for everybody to sign up. We're inshallah targeting 200 kids to show up at the summit. We will see how we get there. Bismillah. Inshallah, we hope we will have that number and even more. And so please do sign up. Please do make your registrations today so that we at least have a better way of like planning the event. So yeah, there's a link for anybody that wants to sort of go ahead and make their sign in now. I'll wait for maybe 2 more minutes on here for anybody that has any more questions before we sort of call it a day, inshallah. Wayakum, thank you so much. That's all the questions people have. Wafa, you asked the question, can parent, I'm assuming, are you trying to say can parent attend or some, I will just fill that as my option. Parents can attend, parents can sit around at the audience. We're looking at if we get enough parents, we might do something specifically for parents, but that's not like confirmed yet. But yes, any questions you have, please feel free to ask. All right. Jazakumullahu khairan. And we just have 1 more minute so we don't hold you too long. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you don't have any more questions, feel free to sign up. Do share this with your family and friends. Tell them to sign up. It's 29th, 30th of August at the University of Washington. And we look forward to having all of you join. It's the 1 minute I said now. Please, if you have any more questions, feel free to send an email. It's aidris@edai.fun. We really want you to show up here. If you have any questions or anything that would make you not be a part of the event, let us know. Send us an email, send us a message. And Bismillah ta'ala, we will try our best to resolve it and make sure everybody is able to be at the summit. If you have any thoughts, any ideas of how we can make this better, please reach out to me and let me know. But at this point, I think this is the end of today's webinar. Maybe we'll do another one before the summit, or maybe this is all. I don't know yet. But may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Sidra, thank you for taking the time to join. Wafa, thank you so much for joining. Brother Abdul Jalil, Jazakumullah khairan for joining. And for everybody who joined, we really appreciate you. We hope to see you August 29th, 30th. Jazakumullah khairan. Inshallah, Sidra, we look forward to having you join us. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to read your application and have you push back on your new idea and see what else will get, Sidra. Jazakumullah khairan, everybody. I will be ending the webinar now. Jazakumullah khairan. Fasubhanakallahu bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa yakum. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.